So you've been in a rut for a while now and you're just desperately looking for anything to be able to get back to the old version of you. The version of you that has been showing up for yourself, the version of you that you're proud of, the version of you that just feels good. If that sounds like you, then in today's video, we're gonna talk about rediscovering your drive when you've been in a rut. And really quickly, I will be using the terms being in a rut and being in a funk interchangeably because they both literally mean the same thing. If you're new here, my name is Ladette, and on this channel we talk about doing inner work and healing so that we can level up and grow in our lives. If that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely hit that like button, and also please subscribe to the channel for that YouTube algorithm. That really helps me out, and I genuinely really appreciate any love and support that this channel receives. With that being said, let's get into today's video. So the first thing that I want to talk about when you're in a rut is to acknowledge that you're in a rut in the first place. This is going to help you identify steps and themes, to identify these overarching themes in your life that will help you next time that something similar happens. And so when you're in a rut, typically that's because something has happened in your life. Something has changed, something has shifted. Maybe it's a breakup, maybe it's, losing a job, like whatever it is, something typically changed in your environment that kind of triggered this response within you where now you're in this funk and you're just kind of having a difficult time getting back on track. So you want to identify what it was that caused this, because typically, again, there's that underlying reason, so that next time something happens, you can notice the steps ahead of time. And this doesn't always happen this way, but it's just to help you develop that self-awareness, because if you can catch things on early on, why not? If you're able to see certain things or themes in your life ahead of time, that's gonna help you so that you can start implementing whatever tools and resources you have before you even get to that place of being in a funk. And it is inevitable, it happens to us at one point in our life, and so you may find that you are in a funk again. That is okay. I just really want to encourage and emphasize the fact that this is life. We can't always be happy. It's not always going to be sunshine and laughter and giddiness and feeling good. Like, it's a part of the human experience, but when we can at least be prepared for these things, it does go a long way. So identifying what changed in your life, what shifted to kind of put you in this place where now you're in this funk, is going to be so crucial. The next thing that I want to talk about is how important it is to set an intention. So every day when you first start your day in the morning or in the evening, whenever you wake up, set an intention for yourself. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, and I actually would recommend for it to be a really simple, small intention, because that's going to help you. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, your intention can be something so simple like, okay, I'm gonna stay hydrated today. And you want this to be really specific to your well-being, because if you're in a funk, it's likely that your well-being is declining in some aspects or areas of your life. Like, it is difficult, right, to get ourselves to go to the gym, to meal prep, to socialize with others, to take care of ourselves when we're in a rut. And so it's important to just something simple. Give yourself something so simple. It can be, I'm gonna stay hydrated today. Or maybe it's, okay, I'm gonna put at least one really healthy meal into my body because I know that my body is just gonna love that. So maybe that healthy meal is a smoothie, maybe it's a green juice, maybe it's a salad. Keep it simple, right? Because you're not telling yourself, okay, I'm gonna cook all my food this week. You're not telling yourself, I'm gonna hit the gym every day this week, because when you're in a funk, you're already in a really vulnerable state of mind. You're already kind of emotional. You're already not feeling that great. So if you set yourself this crazy big goal that you're unable to accomplish, you're going to feel even worse. So create something meaningful, set a meaningful intention, but make it so simple, because you're already in this place where things aren't as great right now. And so you don't want to set yourself up to feel even worse. So something simple, keep it small. The next thing that I want to talk about is how important it is to have self-compassion. Like, listen, you're in a place right now where maybe things are not that great, and it's okay. Like, it's okay to remind yourself, like, I'm not perfect. I don't have to be perfect. It's okay for me to be in a funk. It's okay that I'm not taking as good of care of myself right now. But what's not okay is letting myself stay in this stuck place forever. So have that self-compassion and love yourself enough to, create those small intentions every day so that you can get back on track and so that you can rediscover that drive. But again, have self-compassion, because this is life, and without the downs, there wouldn't be ups. Without the hard days, there wouldn't be good days. Without the downs, there wouldn't be the highs. So this is just a part of the experience, and it's really important to remember that you're allowed to have this experience and you're allowed to not always have it together. So the next thing that I want to talk about is kind of similar, but it's to just aim for getting 1% better every day. If you can be 1% better today than you were yesterday, that really goes a long way, because over time, if you think, 10 days from today, 20 days from today, 30 days from today, you're going to be in a much better place than you are in right now. And so when you're thinking about, okay, how do I get myself out of this rut? Just aim to be 1% better every day. So maybe today it's you're staying hydrated. Maybe tomorrow it's you're continuing to stay hydrated, but then you add a 5-minute walk. You're getting yourself out of your apartment or your home to just be outside for at least 5 minutes. And then maybe the next day it's 10 minutes. And then maybe the next day it's 15. And then maybe the next day it's, okay, I'm gonna start putting, greens, like green food back into my body, smoothies, a green juice recipe, carrot juice, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, right? It's just whatever it is, get 1% better every day. And you start to feel the results. You start to see the results. Because when you're in a funk, it is difficult to remotivate yourself. It is difficult to, get that drive back, but you can trust the process. I think that we all know if we can aim to get 1% better every day, we will see results. No matter what your brain is telling you, no matter what lies your mind is trying to tell you, you are going to see the results. Because when you get better every single day, you're either going to notice those changes physically, you're going to feel them internally, you're going to just feel happier, and by nature, you're going to get yourself to a place where you're now feeling a lot better than you were X amount of days ago. So trust that process and just know by promising yourself to do 1%, to be 1% better each day, you will start to feel good again. And when you start feeling good, that's motivating. When you start to feel like, oh my gosh, I have my energy back, oh my gosh, I'm appreciating the little things about life again, you'll naturally want to keep repeating the behaviors that are getting you those results. So trust the process and just aim for 1% each day. The other thing that I want to talk about is to reward yourself for good behavior, to reward yourself anytime you do something that you said you were going to do. So if you're drinking, if you're staying hydrated, maybe that's your goal, maybe, your intention is, okay, I'm going to go for this 5-minute walk. Find ways to reward yourself. And rewarding yourself obviously looks different for everybody. Like some people may have it in the budget to maybe make it be like a monetary thing, whereas others may not. And so it's really important to find what is gonna actually feel genuinely meaningful to you, because that is what's gonna encourage you to do that behavior again. So maybe it's something like, okay, my goal for this week is going to be that I'm just going to stay hydrated. I'm going to make my daily intention this week about just hydration. At the end of the week, maybe it makes more sense for you to give yourself your reward then. So maybe at the end of the week, your reward is, okay, I'm gonna go to Starbucks. Maybe your reward is, you know what, I'm gonna let myself have an entire day to just have a movie day. I'm gonna let myself just relax, and that's gonna be my reward. So find ways to make it make sense. If you're able to give yourself a reward at the end of each day where it feels meaningful to you and it makes sense to do that, then go for it. If it makes more sense for you to maybe give yourself a reward at the end of each week, then do that. It's completely fine, but just reward yourself. Start getting back into the habit of complimenting yourself, rewarding yourself for when you are holding yourself accountable, for when you are keeping your promises to yourself. Because when you can sit there and say, wow, I kept my promise to myself, that feels good, you're gonna wanna do it again, and then you're gonna wanna do it again, and you're gonna wanna do it again. So make that time to reward yourself for that good behavior. I also want to talk about being mindful of how it feels when you do hold yourself accountable and when you do keep your promises, because you'll notice that when you keep promises to yourself, when you do right by your body, when you do right by your mind, that it feels good. But how often do you actually pay attention to what feeling good feels like? So next time you keep your promise to yourself, next time you stay hydrated for the whole day, next time you have that smoothie or you have that salad or you go for that walk or you go to the gym, whatever it is that you're doing to get yourself out of being in a funk, pay attention to how good it feels when you show up for yourself. So you can just, it can even be like 5 minutes of mindfulness where you're paying attention to, wow, it feels so good to be happy right now. Wow, feeling amazing feels just so good. I feel light, I feel energetic, I feel giddy. I just feel so good in my body. I love this. Like when you actually cultivate that mindfulness to pay attention physically to how it feels when you are showing up for yourself, how it feels emotionally, how it feels spiritually, that is also going to motivate you to continue rediscovering your drive and to continue this journey of uplifting yourself and getting yourself out of being in a funk. So be mindful of how good it feels and embrace it, soak in it, just be in it, you know? And then the final thing that I want to say is to compliment yourself. Get in the habit of saying nice things to yourself and complimenting yourself, especially when you're trying to get yourself out of being in a rut. Like anything that you do, even if it is a really small thing, compliment yourself for doing it, because you know what? When you're in a funk, it's already hard to get yourself out of it. So if you did one small thing to yourself, guess what? You could have chosen to not. You could have chosen to just sweep it under the rug and not do it at all, but instead you decided to show up for yourself. Instead, you decided to keep your promise for yourself, and that is a big deal, because again, you could have chosen to just lay there all day. You could have chosen to just, wallow in your sadness and wallow in being in a funk and being, sad and whatnot, but you chose to stay hydrated, you chose to walk for 5 minutes, whatever that small thing was. Compliment yourself. You can tell yourself, hey, I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself I went for that walk. I'm so proud of myself that I woke up this morning and the first thing I did was drink that cup of water. I'm so proud of myself that I checked in with myself today. I journaled about what was going on and how I was feeling, and yeah, it was 30 seconds of journaling, but guess what? I still showed up for myself and I still journaled. Start saying nice things to yourself. If you can't appreciate the small things that you're doing for you, how are you genuinely going to appreciate the good things, the big things, right? The more grand things. It really does start with those small things. So say these nice things to yourself. So that's all I have for you in this video. Let me know in the comments what is one thing that you're going to make a promise to do for yourself so that you can get yourself out of being in a funk. And I just want to remind you that it's okay to be in a funk. There's nothing wrong with being in a funk. It's a part of the human experience. So don't be hard on yourself. Just make sure that you hold yourself accountable, right? Because it's your responsibility to get yourself out of being in that place. It's okay to be in it, but do what you can to get yourself out of it. So I love you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.